These are the top 5 best high-yield savings account offers for 2024 Q3. And if you're new around here, hi, my name is John of John's Finance Tips. This is a channel we dedicate to talking all things money, making, saving, investing. Today's money topic is how to save money to make more money by way of leveraging high-yield savings accounts. And if you're not familiar, a high-yield savings account, unlike a traditional savings account, actually pays you out some legitimate interest. And to show you how this works, here's a screenshot of one of my high yield savings accounts and how much interest I was paid last month. For every high yield savings account, I'll talk about the benefits, the interest of course, and if there's any special offers in my final verdict and recommendations for you all. If that sounds like a plan, pop a squat, tap the thumb icon. If you'd like to support my channel, I'll have some of the top offers as affiliate links in the description box down below. Coming in at number 5, we have the Marcus by Goldman account. Benefits. When you open this account, there are no minimum deposits required. In addition, there's no fees associated whatsoever with the account. And for those who have to move a lot of money around, you can have same-day transfers of up to $100,000. And what's particularly unique about this account is there are no limits on withdrawals or transfers. Whereas contrast that to traditional savings accounts, sometimes there's limits of withdrawals of 6 per month. Next up, interest. Right now, the Marcus High Yield Savings Account is paying a whopping 4.4% interest. My final version recommendations. I think this is a solid account, especially for those who have to move a big amount of money quickly. In addition, I think the Marcus by Goldman app has a very slick UI on the mobile interface if that's something that's interesting to you. Coming in at number 4, we have a Sofi High Yield Savings Account. Now, what's unique about the Sofi account is it actually comes with a checking account attached as well. You can't actually just open a savings account, which isn't entirely a bad thing because both of these accounts are actually pretty valuable. In fact, even though this is 4 out of the top 5 savings accounts that we're currently talking about, this might actually be the one that's best for most people. And I'll touch on exactly why in a little bit. But for the next section, when we talk about benefits, I'll talk about the benefits for both the Sofi High Yield Savings as well as the Sofi checking account. So benefits for the Sofi High Yield Savings account. The first couple are pretty standard in that there are no fees as well as no minimum balances required to open. The High Yield Savings account also has a feature called autosave. That means for every single paycheck, you can designate a certain portion that's going to just automatically be sent to your high yield savings account without you having to go into the checking account and moving it manually. The high yield savings account also offers savings vaults. So you can kind of think of that as little sub accounts within your main high yield savings account. Let's say you're saving for a wedding or a car down payment. Well, instead of just having in the back of your mind how much is allocated to each within one big account, instead with the Sofi High Yield Savings Account, you can have a savings vault that is just for your wedding savings, that is just for your car down payment, and it's still gonna all roll up into the main high yield savings account, and you're still gonna be able to scoop up all that interest. Now let's talk about benefits of the checking account. Checking account offers you round up and save, which means if you use your debit card to make a transaction, it would actually round it up to the nearest whole dollar and deposit it into that checking account. You'll also be able to get paid 2 days early as long as you set up direct deposit into your Sofi checking account. And with a direct deposit of $1,000, you'll get overdraft fee coverage for up to $50 with no fees. The Sofi savings and checking account also offers $2 million of FDIC coverage. All you need to do is make sure to enroll. Now let's talk about the interest. The interest for the Sofi High Yield Savings Account is 4.6%, but they're not done there. The checking account also provides interest, which is pretty rare for checking accounts at 0.5%. And as for any special offers, there actually right now is a sign-up bonus of sorts going on with the Sofi accounts. I'll put the chart up here so you can see how much you can earn, but I would go after the $300 bonus for setting up qualifying direct deposits of over $5,000 within the promotional period. And now for my verdict and recommendations. Folks, even though this only comes in at 4 out of my top 5 high yield savings accounts, I actually think the Sofi account is the most interesting for the majority of people. Sure, the interest rate is not the absolute highest, but this savings account slash checkings offer probably offers the most bang for buck. You're getting a ton of features, especially if I think about things like the roundups, the autosave, having $2 million of FDIC coverage as long as you're enrolling, and of course, a sign-up bonus. Sign-up bonuses don't happen for savings accounts, especially not for high yield savings accounts where they think that because they're giving you so much interest already, why would they give you another incentive? The Sofi account offers you a sign-up bonus and is still giving you an incredibly competitive interest rate. So this is actually one that I probably recommend most people to at least browse on and take a look at if you're okay with the slightly lower interest but having a ton more bells and whistles. Coming in at number 3, we have Synchrony Bank's high yield savings accounts. Benefits. To open, there's no minimum deposit required. In addition, there's no minimum balance required every single month, and there are no monthly maintenance fees. Interest. The Synchrony High Yield Savings Account comes in with a whopping 4.75% of interest. My verdict and recommendations, I think the Synchrony product is absolutely solid. One thing to know about Synchrony that's interesting on the credit side is they actually offer a ton of co-branded credit cards. Number 2, Basque Bank. Benefits. To open a Basque Bank high yield savings account, there is no monthly maintenance fees. In addition, there are no minimum balances required. Interest rate. This one's a little bare bone, but the interest rate sure makes up for it at a whopping 5.1%. However, there is one thing you need to note, and that is if within 15 days the account is unfunded, Basque reserves the right to just close your account. So if you open a Basque high yield savings account, make sure to fund it within 15 days. And coming in at number 1, the UFB Direct high yield savings offer. Benefits of this account. There are no monthly maintenance fees and no minimum deposit required. Now let's talk about the interest, which is still an industry-leading whopping 5.25%. However, if you put in a little more elbow grease, you can actually get this up to 5.45%. So here's what I mean by that. Kind of similar to Sofi, where you get a savings in the checkings, UFB wants to incentivize you to also open a checking account. And if you open a UFB checking account and do these 3 things, you can get a little bit more interest on your savings side. So here are the 3 things you need to do. First, you open a checking account with UFB Direct, and then you set up direct deposits totaling over $5,000 a month. For that, you're gonna unlock an additional 0.05% interest. Next, if you maintain a minimum balance of $10,000, you're gonna get an additional 0.1% interest. And finally, if you swipe the debit card 10 times every single statement cycle, you'll get another additional 0.05% interest. So you add it all up, you get an additional 0.2% interest added to the 5.25, you get 5.45%. Now my verdict and recommendations. Personally, I love the UFB Direct savings accounts. However, I don't know if I love the checking portion as much. Of course, if you are someone who keeps a lot of money in the bank, you do use your debit card, which I don't recommend, then this makes a lot of sense for you to scoop up 5.45% is just absolutely unheard of. However, for everyone else though, 5.25% is still insane. I'm jumping on that any given day. So these were the top 5 best high yield savings offers of 2024 Q3. As you can see, we have some familiar faces because these banks are absolutely here to compete for your business. And if you're smart, you would jump on these offers. And if you're really, really smart, if at some point these offers aren't as good, you would jump to the next best offer. Because personally, at the end of the day, listen, hashtag these ain't loyal. But really though, I mean, when it comes to high yield savings accounts, just go from the highest to the highest to the highest. There's no issues with that. Now, if you want to go the extra step and you want to avoid some potential taxes from interest, I would actually recommend you to take a look at treasury bills. Treasury bill is basically an IOU from the US government. You lend them money, they say they're gonna pay you back with interest. Right now, there are treasury bills that are paying well over 5.2, 5.3%. The only catch with treasury bills is you're gonna be locked in for 3, 6, 9, 12, whatever amount of months. But the plus side is there is no state income tax on that interest. For me, I'm in Massachusetts, we have pretty hefty state income tax. If I can save on that, I'll do that any given day. Pull up a screen right here on Charles Schwab, where you can buy a treasury note. And to specifically buy a treasury note, you have the option of going direct to the US Treasury, or you can buy off the secondary market. I personally just buy it off the secondary market. There's more liquidity. I don't have to worry about when the auctions occur, and the user interface is just a little bit easier to navigate. And we can see here the options for the 3, 6, 9 month, and so forth treasury bills. Awesome, folks. That's the video. If you have comments, questions, drop them down below. As always, these top offers and my affiliate links are in the description box. Feel free to check them out, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace!